All right, 2 weeks of playoff football in the books. We are back with Survivor with a twist slash playoff football slash touchdown pool podcast, I guess if you want to call it. I am with cousin Matt again. I am Adam. You all know me. Johnny once again is on assignment or something. I don't know. He is doing some kind of an assignment. I don't think it has anything to do with this, but. Whether or not he makes an appearance to the playoffs is yet to be seen. But at any rate, me and Matt are going to talk about playoff football and bring back a couple of the games that we did last week and yeah, we'll see how it goes. Matt, how you doing tonight?
Good, good. Yeah, just watching the Indiana Miami game right now as we're
Yep.
doing this. But again, we had another few good games this weekend. Two really good overtime thrillers in the
Yeah.
playoffs, and then two blowouts. New England, what they win by maybe 12 points, but that game was never really that close. It was over
No, it didn't seem like it. Definitely
the
didn't seem
game.
like it.
Yeah, yeah.
And I
But
feel
yeah,
like Seattle was over the second they returned that opening kick. Like
yeah,
that was
that
just
opening kick. I mean, it was over since
yeah.
then, and I think I learned that I don't know ball very, very well because if I were to bet on the games, I think I would have been 0 for 4.
Yeah.
Every home team or better seed covered. The Bears lost, but they covered the spread. I think they were getting 3.5 or 4.5, depending on
Okay. Yep.
what point you looked at, and the other three home teams all won and
Yeah.
covered pretty easily. So
Yeah.
uh,
At this point,
well,
so
not easily, but
I was
pretty
thinking about this the other day, or probably yesterday after the game's over. Does anything at this point in the NFL surprise you? Like if anything, like nothing at
easy.
this point would surprise me. Like it just
No,
like
no.
Seattle destroying San Francisco. Like yeah, I can see that. San Francisco's been banged up. They've got a lot of injuries. Seattle's defense is unbelievable. Like it just I get that. Denver pulling out a win, Buffalo almost coming back, like couple questionable calls, like it just like nothing surprises me.
No.
Like any of those teams, if the game goes the opposite way, I'd be like, okay, yep, that happens. And the way
Yeah,
it happened, like, yeah, okay. Like there's nothing left of these four teams that any one of them winning, I wouldn't be totally surprised at, to be honest with you.
yeah, and that's why I said last week going into the playoffs, I thought just about every team, with the exception of a couple, were legit Super Bowl contenders, and it turns out one of the teams I didn't think, Denver, if Bo
Yeah.
Nix was healthy, they would be a legit Super Bowl contender. They with Bo Nix, they could definitely win next week against New England, and when we talk about the matchups next week, we'll kind of get into whether we think they still can
Yep.
without Bo Nix. But if he was healthy, then they definitely showed me a lot by beating Josh Allen, and they got a coach fired with their win. So
I know. That's crazy.
there you go.
Yeah. Yeah, no, it's
Great
crazy.
games.
But yeah,
Yeah,
I mean, all the teams left have good defenses and, can also put up points. I mean, Denver's the only one that
yeah,
had a questionable offense, which is why,
yeah,
we both didn't think they would really do much, but it
yeah.
comes down to the defense. And I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if that game was close, even though they've got a backup quarterback who hasn't thrown a pass, I think I saw since like 2023, like week
Yeah.
17 of the 23 season. So, but I wouldn't be surprised, like just make it so that he can manage it and,
Yeah.
maybe just even if he just has like a sustainable drive of like two or three first downs just to get the defense some rest. And then, if they could put up a touchdown, a field goal here and there, and that defense can potentially carry them, like they could win that game. Like it would not surprise me.
You know what? CJ Stroud lost that game. If he could have just managed the game without four
Yeah.
turnovers,
Yeah.
then they would have been right in. And I don't know if you watched the game, the New England Texans game, but
Yeah,
his
a lot of
first
it.
two picks were just, I mean, they were terrible
Yeah.
passes.
Yep.
His first one where the defender caught on the sideline just barely got his knee in bounds. I mean, that was a terrible pass. And
It
then
was. It was just
the
it
pick
was an
six,
awesome catch, but
yeah,
still.
but and
Yeah.
the pick six was just, I mean, I know he got hit, his arm got hit, or he was getting hit as he threw it, and then went straight up in the air. But I mean, just terrible. And we'll get into some statistics related to the Patriots defense last week later on when I have a few interesting facts related to the off season and the playoffs. But first, let's start things off similar to how we did last week. I've got a few statements here, and I want you to tell me if they are fact or fiction.
Can we at least quickly review the fact that I I at least nailed one of them with Harbaugh being the Giants coach.
You
So
did
so
nail
that was
that one.
nailed. Yeah.
You did get that one, and actually, this one I was going to say. Now that we know he is officially the head coach of the New York Giants, unless he, like I said in our group text earlier, unless he does a Bill Belichick and decides to step down now and take the Bills job or something like that, he will
Let's
be the
hope not.
next head coach of the New York Football Giants. And the first factor fiction is the Giants will make the playoffs in the first year with Harbaugh at the helm.
Huh. It's a good question. I would like to say the fan in me is like, oh, no doubt, like we're heading to the playoffs, like here we go. I'm not crazy enough to think we're going to the Super Bowl or anything.
Yeah,
Um, I don't know. I think they're going to be much improved. I think they have a shot. I think the problem is that division is tough. Like, Washington had an off year.
yeah,
Daniels was hurt for a lot of it, and they just didn't look good anytime he was even back. Maybe he wasn't 100% or whatever. Um, Philly's Philly, like I still think they're going to be good, but who knows? AJ Brown leaves, like I don't know. Their offense just did not look good at all this year, but their defense is what kept them in it. And then Dallas can put up points,
yeah.
and we've seen that. So I don't know. I would love to say fact. I think it might be year two. Year two, I'm saying 100% fact. I guess if I had to bet, I would say, and it kills me to say this, I would have to say fiction, but I'd love to be pleasantly surprised.
All right. Yeah, no, fair enough. And yeah, Dallas had a great offense, and I believe George Pickens is a free agent this year, so it'll be very interesting to see if they're able to retain him or where he goes, and whoever that is, he'll definitely become a difference maker there. But adding Harbaugh to the mix, if they can, Giants can get a season where they have a healthy Neighbors, Dart, and just kind of that whole
Scatterboo,
offense
yeah.
together. Yeah,
Yeah,
Scatterbo.
absolutely.
It'd be interesting to see what they can do when they're all healthy for a season. So hopefully they stay healthy. I know a lot of the mock drafts and Giant fans are looking at a wide receiver
Yep.
with their first
Yep.
round pick there. So adding him another weapon could be really interesting and could make them into a fun offense to watch. So we'll
Yeah,
see
they
what
were
happens.
they were fun just with Dart at the helm. Like, I mean, he didn't
Yeah.
have neighbors for the majority of it. Scotty was her,
Mhm.
for the majority of it.
Yep.
Then they were fun to watch just with that. So yeah, you throw all
Mhm.
those guys in the mix. I mean, yeah,
Yeah.
they could. If they do draft another receiver, that'd be awesome. Like, I mean, hopefully their defense, picks it up a bit and Harbaugh somehow, kind of changes that around and maybe a couple decisions that he would make versus, what was made that they don't blow those games and it turns things around. So yeah, I mean, could they make the playoffs? Sure. I don't
Yeah.
know. Let's go fact on that. Fact. Giants
Fact.
make the
Fact.
playoffs. I'm changing it.
Okay. He's
Giant
switching. He's
because
switching it.
yeah, I can't go against the Giant. I'm
Okay.
changing that.
Oh, well, hopefully, you know, about 51, 50, yeah, 50, 51 weeks from now, hopefully we're talking about how many people have Dart or Neighbors on their roster in this pool. So we'll see.
Yeah.
Um, all right. Second one. I think that if the Bears had won, the most talked about play from the weekend would probably be that Caleb Williams fourth down touchdown pass that he threw when he dropped back about 25 yards before just kind of
That was
launching off his
insane
back foot. But instead, probably the most talked about play was the interception that Josh Allen threw that
at
was
the
ripped
end.
out of Brandon Cooks' hands. So, fact or fiction, that was the correct call in ruling that an interception.
Fiction. I think based on what I saw, I think he had it, hit the ground, and then it was taken away. I didn't see where I actually was watching the game, but the sound was not on at the time that we were watching it, so I didn't
Yeah,
quite hear what they were saying, but it seemed like it was a very quick review, like if anything, and so maybe I missed something, but to me,
yeah,
that seemed like it was a catch. Like it's always when it's simultaneous, it sticks
yeah,
stays with the offense, and that's what I thought it was, and that he didn't actually rip it out until he kind of flipped over and then came
yeah.
up with it. So.
So here's my argument against it being a catch. Um, if the defender had not secured that, and when he rolled over, the ball rolled out, it would have been a catch, or it would have been called an incomplete pass.
That would probably be incomplete because
So, okay,
it's
so based
yeah.
on that, I don't think you can rule it a catch when he has possession, hits the ground, because he hadn't fully completed the process of a catch before it was actually taken from
Yeah,
his
but it
hand.
never hit the ground. You can't say that
I
because you
know.
don't, but you can't say that because you don't, the defender had an impact on that. It wasn't just the guy doing it himself where the ground caused it. It was the defender that impacted. So it never actually hit the ground. So if the, you can make the argument too that if the defender wasn't there, he still holds on to it
I
and
know,
that it's
and
not
if
the
he holds
ground's
on to
loss.
it, if he holds on to it, it's a catch because he hold on to it. But he did not have the ball long enough to secure a catch throughout the full process, which is why I could see that being an interception. I know. Listen, I know very similar play happened
But
in
if
the Rams
you're
game as
saying that,
well, and they
but
gave him
you're
a
hold on, but
catch.
you're saying he did have it in order for the guy to the defender to get it from him, which and he was on the ground. So why isn't that a catch? It never, it's not like it
He
ever
didn't,
popped out.
he didn't go through the full process of a catch though.
But I don't
Like
think that comes into
the
play in
two
this case because there were two guys fighting for the ball. Like I don't think that comes into play.
I don't know. You know, the more they put replay in and the more they try and clarify rules, everything just gets more confusing to
Yeah,
me.
no, I agree. I
Uh,
think the wording is insane and it basically comes down to whatever they think and based on what they're
I
seeing. But
I just feel like the definition of the catch, the what, like two steps, football move, all of that was not made. If the ball hits the ground at the end there, it would have been incomplete, not a fumble. So to me,
yeah,
that means
true.
he did not secure a full catch. So it was still kind of fair game until the defender rolled away with
But if
it.
the
Based
defender's
on
not
how I
there,
interpret the rule, that's how I interpret the rule.
yeah, but if the
But
defender's
again,
not there and he
who
goes
knows?
up like this and then rolls,
Yeah.
and like that's considered a football move, even if he holds the ball, like, or if he just catches it and lands on the ground and that's it. Like that's the same thing. You could assume if the
But
defender's not there, that's what happens.
the ball doesn't remove from his possession. In this
Yeah,
case,
but the
it
only reason the
removed
ball
from his
did was because
possession.
the guy took it from him after he was on the ground. Like, so I don't think that ruling comes into
Huh?
play.
I don't know. I don't know.
I don't know. But
That's
the
the
same thing
thing that
happened
I say. Yeah.
in
In the Rams game, I
in
know.
the Rams game. Like that's what I'm saying. And that one they ruled it
I
was a
know.
catch.
And that's
I
what
felt
I'm
like that was the
saying.
same exact thing.
The more this stuff happens, the more inconsistent things seem, and the more confusing it gets. So
Yeah,
I don't
no,
know.
100%.
But you're saying
Fiction, not a
fiction
catch.
that should not have
I
been
mean,
an
not an
interception.
interception, not an interception. Yeah.
Yes. Okay. All right. Next question. Bears had a very surprising season to most. After starting off 0-2, they ended up winning 7 games by less than a touchdown this season. Had an unbelievable comeback to beat the Packers in the first round. So, fact or fiction, the Bears will be back in the playoffs next season. Obviously, we know the Lions are going to be back in that division. They're going to be a tough team again. Green Bay, if they stay healthy all year, they're a tough team. So tough division, but the Bears will be back in the playoffs again next season.
Yeah, I don't see why not. I mean, it was a surprise, but I don't think it was a fluke. I mean, the Ben Johnson note, right? Ben Johnson.
Ben
Um,
Johnson, yep, new head coach,
Yeah,
yeah.
I mean, knows what he's doing. Caleb Williams finally looked like a decent quarterback, like all,
Yep.
consistently, and they were tested. Like they came back how many times? Like
Yeah.
so that to me means, you're calm in those situations and can make the comeback. So
Yeah.
I don't know. You think it's going to happen that way again next year? I feel like next year they're going to be tested and maybe they won't have to come from behind so many times. So yeah,
Yep.
I would say that's a fact.
Okay. All right. Fact. And final question. Jarrett Stidham can lead the Broncos to the Super Bowl. I know you kind of mentioned it earlier. If he can manage the game, let the defense take him there. But is it fact or fiction that the Broncos can make it to the Super Bowl with him at quarterback this weekend?
I think it's the fact that he can. I think they will put a game plan in for him to manage the game, similar to how back in the day, Mark Sanchez managing the offense of the Jets. He was
Yeah.
not a
Yeah.
superstar quarterback, but they ran, they play action, they had him roll out, and they built the game plan around his ability, and I think that's what Sean Payton will do with the Broncos. And with that defense wins championships. I feel like they can hold the opponent to the point where if the offense just does just enough, then yes, he absolutely could lead them to the Super Bowl.
Well, I think if anyone can do it, it's probably Sean Payton. He's a great offensive coach. His defense is going to do what their defense does.
Yeah.
But if it was a defensive-minded head coach, it might be a different story. It might be tough. But he's such an offensive mastermind, Sean Payton, that I think that he's got a lot in his repertoire. So, like you said, I think he'll put together a good game plan. I personally have the Patriots winning. Unfortunately, we might be
Ugh.
looking at and I know Boomer and Gio talked about it this morning. I don't know if you listened at all.
I didn't.
But
No, I didn't listen
I
to it.
actually said it yesterday when it was happening in real time when the Patriots were winning. I said we might be looking at Jets fans' worst nightmare here with Sam Darnold versus the Patriots in the Super Bowl,
Yeah, that would
which
be.
is I don't know if it's worse or not as bad as last year. Zach Wilson was the backup on Denver. If Zach Wilson was still there, could you imagine a Super Bowl with Zach Wilson versus Sam Darnold?
That it wouldn't surprise me.
Two,
That would just be like typical Jets.
two,
Like,
three quarterbacks that the Jets drafted, dumped, and probably rightfully so. Things weren't going to work out for either of those guys in New York. So, um, but yeah, I mean that would be one of the worst case scenarios. And Patriots might be even worse than if Zach Wilson led the Broncos there. I don't know.
yeah, I
Uh,
mean Zach Wilson would just I can't I mean he looked terrible. So I can't imagine like
yeah,
yeah, I don't know. This
yeah,
that would be that would be insane.
yeah, yeah. But anyway, so those are my fact or fiction. So, like you said, we'll have to revisit them. Um, Number four, Stidham. I don't think your fact or fiction is going to be based on whether they actually win or not. If as long as he doesn't cost them the game, as long as he doesn't
Yes.
have a CJ
If we
Stroud
could
type game,
yeah.
then we can say that you may have been correct in the fact as long as he's not the one that totally bombs the game and causes
Correct.
them to lose on every front.
Yeah, yeah,
So
yeah. No, yeah, that I completely agree with that. Because yes, I do think as long as they build the plan around his ability, I think, they
yeah,
certainly can do that. So, all right, cool.
yeah.
So I've got quotes again for you.
Okay.
Um, like I did last week. So, one, two, yeah. So I've got four here. So this will be
All right.
quicker, but I got four quotes based on the past week of games. We'll call it that.
Okay.
All right, so the first one, I let my teammates down tonight. Just missed opportunities throughout the game. It's been a long season. I hate how it ended, and that's going to stick with me for a long time.
I think is that Josh Allen?
It is Josh Allen. Yeah, I think
I
the fact
thought
that he
I
said I let my teammates down, like I don't know. I can't I don't know how you could possibly say that about Josh Allen, who just basically carried this team to where they went all season long. But
I mean,
yeah,
he's been carrying them for a couple seasons
he
now.
has. Yeah, you're right.
I didn't hear that exact quote, but I thought I saw a couple of the players crying when they heard that that's what he said. Like Brandon Cook
Yeah,
and a couple
yes.
others, I
A
saw
couple of them did.
crying when
Yeah,
he said. So I didn't hear the exact quote, but I did see that. And whether you want to say Josh Allen let them down or not, listen, the reason I said at halftime, I texted someone at halftime, if the Bills lose this game, McDermott should be fired simply on the fact that he did not kneel it out going into halftime. There's about 10 seconds left. They're on their
yeah.
own yard
I
line with
heard
no
about that.
timeout.
Yep.
And Josh Allen decides to take off and run and fumbles it and gives them a field goal with 2 seconds left in the half. Um, you know,
Yeah.
uh, you look at that as Josh Allen's fault, but he put up 30 points against a very good defense. So that's why I
True.
said you take that away from him. And, whether that was an interception or a catch on that deep ball, if that ball gets caught and not ruled an interception, Buffalo, could win that game. So, I don't think Josh Allen let them down. Not at all.
Yeah, no, I don't think so either. All right, so next one. This one's a short one. They didn't beat us, we beat ourselves. I guess that could apply to a few different ones, but
I don't think that can apply to San Francisco. They just got beat. I mean,
that is
you
true.
can't.
Yeah, that is true.
So I hope no one in San Francisco said that because
No, they did
they,
not.
they got smoked. McDermott, I'll say.
No, no, it was Caleb Williams.
Caleb Williams. Okay.
Yeah, Caleb Williams. Now, I don't know if I necessarily agree with that because I mean, I think the Rams did have something to do with it, but
Yeah.
um yeah, I just thought that was interesting they said that.
Yeah.
All right, next one. I feel like our backs were against the wall really all season with guys going down, but we always found a way.
Guys going down. Let's see.
And this is the person saying it reflecting on the challenging season, it says.
Someone on the 49ers.
Yep, it is. The main
Uh,
guy.
Shanahan or Purdy then?
Purdy, yeah, it was Purdy
Yeah,
that said that.
Purdy. Okay.
Yeah. Yep. All right, this one.
Yeah, so you know what? So before we move to the next one, obviously they were playing Seattle for the division. If they had, at the last game of the season, would have
Yeah,
against
things would have been different. Yeah.
so yeah, they had the injuries. I know Purdy missed a bunch of time earlier in the year, and Mac
Yep.
Jones actually filled in pretty well for him.
He did. Yeah,
But
actually, he did very
you,
well.
you take some of those injuries away, one more win gets them the division. If they were playing that game at home, do you think it could have been any different, or do you think Seattle was just the better team and there's nothing that could help San Francisco even playing that game at home?
Yeah, I don't think home field makes a difference in that case.
No.
I think San Francisco was, I mean, Seattle was a better team. San Francisco
Yeah.
had too many injuries. They just were banged up.
Yeah.
They just didn't have it.
Yeah.
I don't, yeah, I think it would have been too tough. I don't care where they played.
Yeah.
All right. I have two more. So second to last one. So I can't wait to get started. I know how great our fans are. We are going to build a team that's going to play a brand of football that you will be proud of.
Is that your new coach?
That is our new coach. That is Harbaugh talking about the Giants. Had to throw that one in there. Okay, and I this one is a special one for today. This one is simply I have a dream. Who said that?
Martin Luther King Jr.
Yes, but that also was I heard Johnny saying that when he was talking about the Jets' chances of making the Super Bowl next year. So, yeah. So I would have taken either answer actually.
That's usually how my kids wake up every morning, telling me what they had a dream about last night.
All right, yeah, that applies too.
Yeah. So, but all right, no, good quotes. I'll have to. Although I did a lot better this week than I did last week.
You did, yeah, you did.
Probably because the pool of team possibilities is
True.
dwindling down.
Yeah.
So next week I only have four teams that I have to choose from. But I'll have to pay attention to some of the press conferences after the game and stuff. So,
Yep. Yep.
all right. Well, let's get into some of the standings right now. Should we talk about some of the pool for a bit, or should we talk about some of the
Yeah.
matchups?
Yeah, no, let's talk about the pool real quick. I mean, obviously you're sending out the full list and everybody can take a look at who's got who available and what that looks like and all. The one thing that we didn't really talk about last week was just where this pool came from because how long have you been doing
Yeah.
this for?
I mean, as long as I can remember, probably as long as I've been watching football enough to the point where I know players. I don't know, 10,
But
11
how long have
years
you so
or
like
so.
but that was before how long have you been running it? Like a
Oh,
handful of
I've been
years?
running it.
Yeah, do you know that?
6 or 7 years, maybe.
Okay, you do that on
I
purpose.
don't think. What's that?
Did you say that on purpose?
No, I did not.
All right.
No,
All right.
I think that's
Like,
where the saying came from. I just think those are the numbers people default to. Like
you
when
think
you don't
so?
know something, I just think 6 or 7 is like the default that people just naturally say.
It's
I did not
possible.
say that intentionally.
So
Uh,
when a football team scores a touchdown, how many points are they going to come away with?
well, either 6 or 7 or 8,
Yeah,
possibly 8.
that's true. Or eight, yeah,
I,
or
I
throw
saw the
another one in there.
Did you happen to catch the interview last week with Jameis Winston when he was on with on the Kelsey's podcast?
No, I did not.
Oh, they asked him how many offensive coordinators he's played for in his career. He said, I don't know, like maybe 6 or 7. He's like 6, 7. He's like, I gotta stop doing that. I do it all too much.
He's funny. Maybe we should have him on one night.
I would love. He would like no. If I had a podcast, he would probably be a top 3 person that I want.
He is entertaining, that is for sure.
Yeah, you go check out the full interview though. It was definitely entertaining, especially he talks about playing with Scatterbo, and he's
Yeah.
like he reminds Jameis, he reminds him of Stitch from Lilo and Stitch when he just takes the rocket ship because he's not gonna like go to jail and it's crashed into Earth. He's like, that's what Scatterbo reminds me of. Um,
Okay. I can
but
see that. Yeah.
but
Yeah.
it was funny. He said he's one of the few players whose first career pass resulted in a touchdown. He's like it was a pick six.
Oh, well, there you go.
Yeah,
Not exactly what you want to talk about, but
no, his delivery was a lot better than mine was
yeah,
because
yeah,
he made
yeah,
it
yeah.
sound like
I
he
get
threw
it.
a touchdown, and then
Yeah.
like Jason and Charles like oh like they were impressed like yeah it was a pick six.
That's funny. That's good. That's good. But yeah, so this pool obviously, however long you've been doing it, but like beforehand, like we've been doing this. I mean, you said as long as you've watched football. I remember getting this pool from your father who
Yeah.
knew the original guy who did it, Fred Fritzky.
Mhm.
Unfortunately, he passed away. I think it was probably like 10, 15 years ago. And that's really why, you took over. But back in the day when there was no, you know, email or anything like that, this guy would handwrite the full update. I mean, he would write pages of what happened during the games. He would handwrite all the scores. You could see everybody's team listed there.
Yeah.
And then he would mail it out. So it's like everybody is going to get your pool, your update either the next night or or 2 nights later, through email. He would have to mail it out and you would be waiting until, Thursday or Friday at the earliest to get the update and then the games would happen, Saturday or Sunday again. Like it was just crazy. And you'd open it up and it was this huge packet of stuff. So I think some of the money that came in for it went to like postage and paper and all that stuff. And absolutely it should have, but it was
Yeah.
crazy to think about.
No, I know, and those of you who are Stratford people, I remember going with my dad as a kid, where Wines Unlimited is on Broadbridge Avenue there, in that little plaza. He had an office, and I remember going with my dad to pick it up each Monday during the week, whatever after school. But I
Yeah.
remember going to pick it up, in an envelope to update, and yeah, like you said, you're flipping through pages, looking for where
Try
yours
to
is going
find
to
where you
stand
were,
and
yeah. It'd
stuff.
be like a
Yeah.
page of everybody's entries, like a page or two. He used to have
Yeah,
250 to 300 people in these things. It'd be the
yeah,
multiple pages of his write-up of all the things that happened, the scoring, everything. And then it would be a page or two of the rankings, and you would kind of look to see where you were. I mean, it was
yeah.
crazy.
And then that's why I send out the form if people want to print it out and then fill it out or whatever, because that's how I grew up doing it. You had to handwrite it. There wasn't email
Yes,
back
yeah,
then
you did.
to send
Yeah.
it in.
He did
You
do
wrote it in.
email the
You
last
made
couple
it.
seasons, but
Yeah,
like or maybe the last season or two that he ran it. But for the most part, yeah, you had to write it out and then mail it to him or
yeah,
drop it off in person is
yeah.
basically how you had
And
to
my
do
and
it.
mine really like I say in my email when I kind of introduce everyone to it before the playoffs start. It used to be like my NCAA bracket. I would
Yeah.
take it with me and like put a check mark or when my guys got
Yeah,
touchdowns.
I would do the same thing. Yeah, I would mark
Yeah,
down all the scores and just
yeah,
make sure that my score matched whatever he
yeah,
said. But think about that. Think of all the entries you get at the very last second. Like even on that
yeah,
day, the Saturday for the playoffs that start,
yeah,
the games that start that day, like you probably get
yeah,
a whole bunch in email that day. Like that wouldn't fly in this thing because you have to mail it out and make sure it gets sent out before, like way before the game start, or you'd have to go and hand deliver it to them. Like you wouldn't be able to do it right before game time.
yeah. No, it was a lot and it was fun and stuff. And I don't remember if there were kickers in it or not, or if it was just
Yeah,
I think
kickers
there
were
were
there.
kickers.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah,
Oh yeah,
yeah,
definitely. It's the
yeah,
exact same
yeah,
thing that you do
yeah.
now. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, no, it was fun back then, and in the same way, and I've incorporated the exact same rules. Like in his, there were no substitutions and things like that. I know some people, is like you can't substitute if someone gets hurt. Oh, we should put defenses in. Obviously, the Patriots scored a defensive touchdown. Houston
Yeah.
scored two defensive touchdowns against the Steelers, and it's not supposed to be exactly like fantasy football.
True.
There needs
Well, it's
to
a
be that
touchdown
separate.
playoff for a
Yeah,
reason. Like you're just picking
yeah,
the players. Like, yeah, for a
um,
defense, that's an entire team. So yeah.
yeah, yeah. So, but yeah, those are just some of the things that come up sometimes, and I think probably before I add defense, and I'm considering doing this, I'd probably take kickers off before I went and added a whole nother section for defenses.
I don't know. I
Um,
think the kicker element adds something to it because you could have a kicker who kicks 5 field goals, and if you have him as your number one kicker, that's 25 points
yeah.
right there just from field goals alone. Like, if it's one game, like that's, so I don't know. I think I would keep that, but that's my opinion. So,
I think I've just been burned by kickers too many times in actual fantasy football.
well,
So
yeah,
I'm
yeah,
starting to get. I know that's the new trend in not this, but in fantasy football, the new trend is eliminating kickers, and I'm starting to get on board with that because I'm starting to get burned by kickers
got
in
it.
fantasy football. So I'm
Yeah.
getting off the
Yeah,
other
they could
kicker.
win it or lose it for you in a week.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
Definitely. Yep.
So. But yeah, no, great. Yeah, I mean, it's been almost 30 years probably that I've been doing it. I don't know how long. I have to ask my father. I'll try and remember to ask him this weekend so that on next week's podcast I have some more information on how long that was going on, when that started or anything. But
Yeah.
as long as I can remember as a kid, I was doing it.
Yeah. Yeah. No, same here. Definitely.
Yeah.
Yep.
So
So who was I'm trying to remember as I'm looking at the standings right now, who was the one that was in first place? Oh, never mind. I now I see it. Ashley to Classy. That's who it was.
yeah, and like I said, I at the beginning, I clearly don't know football because the teams that they had, I thought were going to win, and
I
I thought
know.
they were
You're right.
possibly going to be
Now
able
I'm
to
seeing a
ride
lot
those
of
wins
red.
to the championship,
I'm seeing a
and
lot of crossouts
they
on
did
their
not.
team.
Yeah, they did not turn out so well, and um, Purdy not getting any touchdowns certainly didn't help, and while they still have Stafford, I think Stafford was on their team. I don't see them. I'm not. Oh,
Yeah,
right here. Yeah,
Stafford is on their team.
Stafford didn't score any touchdowns though, so Stafford didn't help them, and it helped
Yeah.
other people kind of pass them in this latest round.
Yep. Yep.
But you know what? One, I don't know if you have any shout outs. Sometimes you shout out team names and things like that. If you don't, shout out. I don't think he's watching this. I don't know. It's Phil's friend Tim, who basically submitted 4 almost identical entries.
And he's at
And
the top. I see
now,
that. Yeah.
yes, yep, he's got all 4 entries are like in the top 10, including 3 in the top 5. So
Which is
it's
interesting
definitely,
because the whole reason why you would think to submit multiple entries is so that you could pick different players for each one. But maybe that's a
that
strategy is to just pick one and then
that's what I was gonna
enter it
say. Usually
multiple times.
I'd say I think most people, like to spread
Hmm.
out their picks to try and give them more shots to win. But if you think you've really got a good set of players, then you might as well just go with that and try and get multiple payouts here. So,
Yeah.
um,
Yeah. Yeah.
good on him if it pays off, and I guess we'll have to see. But yeah, but in the standings now we've got Cork. Uh, Decent lead.
Cork is a SWAT contestant.
I know he's been in this pool multiple years. I certainly recognize the name, and yeah, he's sitting in pretty good shape right now. He doesn't have his number one quarterback, but he's still got a lot of players left. 56% of people actually have their QB1 still in. So over half the people still have their QB1. Most of them are Stafford, a few Mays, a couple Darnolds, and a couple. I think there's maybe 1 or 2 Bo Nixes, and whether you want to consider them still in or not, as far as your QB1, the team's in, so they made the right pick. Just got unfortunate with the injury.
Yeah. I'm the first one that of in the list that has the top two in there with Fantasy All-Stars. Stafford May. I'm the only one that's got that combination. I just need to, so I would gain points when others are not, but I don't know if it's
Yeah,
enough to climb back in because the rest of my team is kind of thin, but
yeah. No, yeah, you're picking up. Well, you got to figure then you're picking up 8 points at least on somebody when if those guys are scoring heavy, if they're both in the Super Bowl, I think you've got a good
true.
chance
Yeah,
to
that's what I would need, both of
standings.
them. And
Yeah,
not I don't like not a low scoring game. I need them to
yeah.
score, a few touchdowns. So
Yeah, yeah, but no, it's up there. And then you look at the running backs, though. They're gonna, and this is where some people probably pass you up this week is Williams' touchdowns. You've got him at
Yeah,
running
I have
back
him
four.
for.
A bunch of
Yep.
people have them above you, and I mean, I guess the player of the week had to be Kenneth Walker. I mean,
Oh,
with
absolutely.
Charbonnet out 3 touchdowns. I mean, again,
And
that
he's done the rest of the playoffs, right?
Charbonnet, he's still in the
No,
he's the
Charbonnet's done now, right?
Charbonnet is done.
Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
Charbonnet
yeah.
is done. He's another one with along with Bo Nix that's out for the rest of the playoffs. So it's interesting. I see we got a lot of Nakua receiver ones still here in the top of the standing. So
Yep.
not much of an opportunity to gain any ground on Nakua touchdowns. Basically,
No.
if you're hoping to climb the standings, even if you've got him as your 1 or 2 receiver, you're just kind of hoping to stay away from him. You want to try and capitalize on some of the other players.
Yeah.
The
I need
first one,
May. I need May to throw those touchdowns to Henry, and then because there's only one person ahead of me that has them, so
yeah,
that's what
yeah.
I need. A bunch of those. Or just hand the ball off to Henry and let him run it on like a tight end
Or
around.
you know what you know you want the Rams to win, but 3 or 4 touchdowns for JSN wouldn't hurt you if he has a big
That
day.
is true. Yeah, that is true.
You're getting points on everyone above you. And we're looking at fantasy all stars right now as JSN as the number 1 receiver. So you're getting some points there. No one's got Darnold above you, so no one's getting points
That
on
is
you
true.
who's
Yeah,
above
nobody's
you
gonna
by
get.
those
Yeah, no,
touchdowns.
you're right.
So
You're right.
there's an
But somebody is
opportunity.
right. Somebody's right behind me with down by a point that
Darnold.
has Darnold. So that's in
Yeah,
JSN as number one as well. So that's not. Yeah,
yeah,
that's not gonna help. But yeah, I don't know. Like
yeah.
you can look at this 10,000 different ways and be like, well, if this guy scores and the other guys don't, like, so I don't
All right,
know.
so then here's what you want then. Now I found it now. Jason Myers to kick 4 field goals in that game. No one else has Myers above you at all.
Well, yeah, the one
So,
guy, the one right above me has him. That's it.
oh, I was looking at the other one. Okay, okay.
Yeah,
So
but that's
Myers,
it. But yeah, so I guess I
and,
need,
and
yeah.
then you want a lot of touchdowns. You don't want any field goals.
How about
Fair.
Myers throws a touchdown to JSN
Okay, there you go.
or
That could
runs it
happen.
in fake field
As long
goal?
as long as when they're in big field goal formation, no one does the Troy Polamalu and goes over to the C gap there. What's his name? The ESPN, the punter, McAfee.
Oh,
You ever heard his
McAfee.
story about when he was going to do the fake field goal?
Yes, but I don't remember the rest of it.
No.
I
Yeah,
feel like
no,
I have heard that story. I'll have to look that
he
up.
was yeah. No, he said his one shot he was going to have to score a touchdown in the NFL. It had to be like in the 7 yard line on the left hash against Pittsburgh,
It was like
and
the perfect
everything
setup.
happened.
Yeah.
Yeah, and he was like, Palomalu went over to the one gap. Never in his career had he gone over there. And as soon as he got down, that's where he went and lined up, right exactly where he's going to run. So as long as no one, screws Myers on his touchdown opportunity,
Yeah. All right, so I'll
yeah,
just
you
root for
never
that.
know.
Fake field
Yeah,
goals.
yeah, yeah. So, but no, it should be another couple good games. Uh, Definitely could see them being low scoring, especially if weather
That's
comes into
true.
play. The
Yeah.
weather a big factor this weekend, and I think it's important for New England's offense. Did not look good against the Chargers. They looked a little better this past weekend. I know that turnovers and good field position and playing with the lead and stuff, all that help. But we'll have to see. And um, yeah, and then next week I think we'll really get an idea of where the standings are going to finish off once we see
Yeah.
what are in the Super Bowl and stuff from
Yeah.
there.
Yeah, I guess if you're at the top, you're just hoping that it's not as much scoring. But with these
Yeah,
defenses, that could very well be the case. Like
yeah,
it could be very low scoring. So
no, I know.
you never
Yeah,
know. You never know.
either that or sometimes defense will set up short fields and you know
True. Good.
easy scoring opportunities. So yeah, you have to see. We'll have to see what
That is
happens.
true.
But
So who's your so what are your picks this week? You want to go with spread or without spread?
we can we can go with spread.
All right,
I
what's
wasn't that good. I was not that good this weekend either way. So, we'll see.
all right, so New England is 5.5 point favorites against Denver at Denver,
To
which
me,
I
that
feel like I wonder if that would be the case if Knicks was in, probably not. But
no, I
um,
don't think so.
so what would what's your pick there?
To me, that's the easier of the two games. I don't have quite as much confidence in Jarrett Stidham. I think Mike Vrabel's a great coach as well. He certainly won some Super Bowls in New England. Kind of knows Belichick's thinking, kind of not direct coaching pedigree from Belichick, but having played for him and stuff.
Sure.
I think Vrabel's defense is Patriots defense has been unbelievable this postseason.
They've been good, yeah.
I don't
Yeah.
I don't see Denver being able to do anything, even at home. I'm going to take New England. Drake May's playing great. They've got two great running backs out there as well. I'm going to take New England, and I'll give the points.
Okay. I think New England is going to win that game, but I would take the points with Denver. I think the defense is too good, and I don't think they're going to be. I think they're going to be careful when they're on offense. And New England, like you said before, like some of Stroud's interceptions were horrible that just turned the game around, and that's how that led to some of their points. So it's not like New England's offense is completely lighting it up. Now, Houston's defense is supposed to be, pretty good. I think Denver's is a step up from that. So I think it'll be kept close. I think New England probably wins by, 3 or 4 points. So I think Denver does cover, but I would think, as much as it kills me to say this, I think New England is unfortunately heading to the Super Bowl. But so we'll see. We'll see. And then the other one is Seattle at home, 2.5 point favorites against the Rams.
I've gone against Seattle. I went against them in the Niners game to close out the season. I went against them here. I keep going against Seattle, and I'm going to go against Seattle again. You know, I guess Sam Darnold. I mean, he didn't have to do much. Darnold did not have
He
to do
didn't.
much. He
Nope.
got a lead with the opening kickoff, like you said. His defense played great. They only gave up 6 points. Kenneth Walker had 100 something yards.
Yep.
I think
Yep.
he was only like 12 of 17 passing Darnold for 120 yards. He didn't have to do much, but uh, as good as their defense is, you know, Sean McAvee, great coach. Matthew Stafford, Hall of Fame quarterback, Super Bowl winner already. Ton of
McVay, you
experience,
mean
especially
McVay?
McVay. Yes,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
A ton of experience, especially compared to the other quarterbacks. I think the Rams are gonna get it done. I think the Rams are gonna go back to the Super Bowl.
So you think, oh, so you are, hold on. I thought you were going
I'm
so you're going against
I'm
Seattle
taking the
still.
Rams. I'm taking the Rams.
Okay,
Yes,
okay, all right.
taking the
Because at
Rams.
first the
I
way
think
you
the
said
Rams are
that,
gonna win.
I thought you were gonna
No, I
say
say
I've
I
been going
keep
against them and now I'm
no, I
going
keep
for
going
them.
against them, and then they keep proving me wrong. But I don't
Yeah.
know that I don't know what it takes for me to become a believer in Sam Darnold and the team. But I guess I'm
Well, I
not
think
there
deep
yet.
down as a Jets fan, you don't want him to do well. You're hoping he fails because you've seen it time and time again.
Yeah, yeah. I don't like. I have nothing to have against Sam Darnold though. Like it's not like he did anything and like left New York was like I'm leaving. He was trash here, and good for him to be able to revive his career elsewhere.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's not that I don't want him to do well. I just think that I've seen him show signs of being good, but then in a big game see ghosts on the field, and it's like I don't know what
Yeah.
what the heck that's all about. So
Yeah,
I
no,
think that
I
sign
thought we
will
were both
eventually
gonna
come out.
be I thought we were both gonna go opposite because I thought you were gonna say I've been going against them and
Yeah,
now I'm finally sticking with them because I was about
yeah,
to say I actually am not yet a believer, even though he had a great
yeah,
season, but he did the same thing with Minnesota last year, and now
yeah.
he's on to a team that he's seen before that knows him as well. I think the Rams are going to get it done as well because I don't know. I think yeah, and listen, maybe I'll get proven wrong. I think that defense is great in Seattle, but I could see Darnold making a couple, bonehead plays that potentially cost them or give the Rams good field position, and that's how they score. Um, But yeah, I
Yeah,
mean, with the weapons that Stafford has and the season that he put up, MVP season, I
yeah,
could see that too. So that's why I would have been taking the Rams as well, getting 2.5. So which
yeah,
probably means we're both wrong and it's Seattle heading to the Super
yeah.
Bowl.
I'm probably gonna be wrong on both of them.
Yeah.
Maybe I'll bet you two opposite ways. So at least next week on the podcast, I can say I was 2-0
Yeah, you won
to,
something, yeah.
to, to our couple listeners, if there are any. But um, yeah.
You'll
So
probably
maybe
go
I'll
1-1 though, both ways.
yeah. I don't
You'll
know.
be like, came out even.
Yeah.
All right.
All
Well,
right.
I guess that'll do it for tonight. I think that these games should be good. I don't anticipate. I'll tell you what. I know we said earlier. Does anything surprise you at this point? I think blowouts in either way. I think that would surprise me because I don't see that happening. But you never know.
You know what? I don't think that would surprise me. If any one of these four teams blew out the other, I don't think you can be surprised. If
I don't know. Yeah.
I think New England getting blown out would be the only thing that would surprise me.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah. I guess it wouldn't surprise me. I'm not expecting it. I'll put it that way.
yeah,
Because like I said, nothing at this point in the NFL surprises me. So I shouldn't be surprised by blowouts. I'm not expecting it either
yeah,
way. So,
yeah.
so we'll see.
No,
But
yeah,
yeah.
but yeah. I know.
All
Before we
right.
go, five quick, interesting little facts I have here, leading
Okay.
us into the final couple rounds of the playoffs and the offseason. The Patriots forced more turnovers in the first three quarters against the Texans than the Jets did all season.
Sounds about right.
Yeah. Since 2000, second fact, since 2009, every AFC championship game has featured one of these three teams: the Patriots, the Chiefs, or the New York Jets.
Interesting. All right. You want
Number
to hang your hat
three,
on that one?
yeah, number three. There's only one NFL coach currently with their team that was hired before 2015, and that's Andy Reid. He's the only coach that's been there
Wow.
now that Tomlin and Harbaugh and
Oh
McDermott's
yeah.
taken
Yeah, yeah,
over.
yeah.
So
Yep.
they're the other longer tenured coach. So he's the only one that's been there for more than 10 years with his
Yeah,
current
it's
team.
because in the NFL, it's what have you done for me lately? And
Yeah,
people get impatient.
yeah,
So move on to the next guy.
yeah. Fourth fact: Matthew Stafford drafted number one overall. Drake May, Sam Darnold, both drafted number three overall. Other starting quarterback, Jarrett Stidham, drafted 133rd overall. So
What is the guy's name
not
again? Jarrett? Jarrett?
Jarrett, I think
Oh.
Jarrett, I
I
believe.
just think of I
Uh,
think of from the movie Rookie of the Year, I think of Chet Steadman. That's to me what it
yes,
sounds
yeah,
like. Chet's
yeah, yeah,
Rocket or whatever they called
yeah.
him.
And not that Stidham's the one that led them there. I mean, Bo Nix was a first round pick as well.
Yep.
But the other three, I mean, all top three picks. So that's
Yeah. You need a
it
quarterback.
may have taken some of them a while to get there. And I mean, I know Stafford, this is his second Super Bowl, but it took him a while to get to his first one. And Darnold, he's certainly been through a handful of teams before he got here. Drake May in his second year, third year, second year for May.
Second year, I think. Yeah.
Second year, yep. So he's gotten there pretty quickly, but that's why you draft these guys early. So clearly shows that deserving of getting drafted that high. And finally, both championship games feature head coaches by the name of Mike versus coach by the name of Sean. It's Mike Vrabel versus was it Sean Payton?
Sean Payton. Yep.
Yes, yep. And then Sean McVay versus Mike McDonald. So both championship
Hmm.
games have Mike versus Sean on the head coaching.
That is interesting. So will it be Mike versus Mike, Sean versus Sean, or another Mike versus Sean?
Yeah, I don't know. We'll have to see. So
That's cool.
um, yeah. So and just a couple interesting facts there. Like we said, yeah. Best of luck to everyone. And yeah, I guess we'll see next week. We'll have an idea of who's looking in pretty good position to finish the money here.
Yep. Sounds good. All
All
right.
right.
Yeah. Good luck to everybody. Thanks for tuning in if you did. Until next week, enjoy the games.
All right.
See ya.
Take care.